heaven. We got 2 more first-round Game 7s in the NBA today. Tonight in Cleveland, the Raptors and Cavaliers square off. The home team has won every game in this series, and each of the last 3 have been decided by 5 points or less. That includes Toronto's 2-point win in Game 6 on Friday. But it all starts in Detroit. 3:30 Eastern on ABC as the Pistons host the Magic. This is just the 5th time that a 1-8 series has gone 7 games. The 1 seed has won the previous 4 instances.
Let's start right there in Detroit, where we find NBA analyst Tim Legler, who's on the call for this game. Tip 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Tim, Magic Pistons 1-8 seeds, Game 7. Through your eyes, what will decide this game?
Well, here's what I think is going to happen. I expect both stars to play really well. I look at Cade Cunningham. He's had a great series, but particularly the last 2 games to get them to a Game 7 at home. But I also look at Desmond Bane a couple years ago in a Game 7, similar circumstances on the road against Cleveland. 38 points, 16 rebounds. So he knows what the pressure of the moment is like. So for me, what it's going to come down to is which of those stars gets a guy to step up in a big way. Hey, look, maybe that's Desmond Bane. Maybe that's Tobias Harris for Cade Cunningham, who's had a very good series. Or maybe you go to the next guy. Maybe it's a Duncan Robinson who gives you 5-6 made threes in a game like this, or Jalen Suggs, who has struggled with his shooting, all of a sudden gets hot. This is a defensive-minded series. Shot making is going to be at a premium. Obviously, I expect a low-scoring game, so it really, for me, is going to come down to which of those supplemental scorers steps up. Who are we talking about after the game? That's going to be the team that's going to get this done today.
And the last time these teams played on this floor, the big stars, the A-listers, Cade Cunningham, Paolo Banchero, each went for 45. If we get another showing like that, the series turns into an all-timer. Tim, our other series, the 4-5, you expect it to be close, but through 6 games, these teams have the same total number of points, 669 on either side. Cavs hosting the Raptors. What are you watching in this Game 7?
Yeah, this has been a situation where home court has won out every single game, and now Cleveland, this is what you play the regular season for, to get this game at home. I think it's going to come down to their backcourt and Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. Both of these guys more than capable, but both guys have also struggled at times in situations like this, those pivotal games in the series, and nothing's more pivotal than obviously the Game 7. So I want to see how that backcourt plays. If those guys play well and have reasonable efficiency in this game, I really like Cleveland's chances. If those guys really struggle offensively, Toronto, I think, is going to sense that they have an opportunity to steal one on the road. They have an elite defense. It all comes down to how they guard Mitchell and Harden and how comfortable those guys are making shots. I think you'll get an indication for that early in the game.
And for Donovan Mitchell, he has 4 straight games scoring fewer than 25 points. That's a career worst stretch for him in the playoffs. Tim, we got to talk about last night. Sixers should have been dead and buried. They end up bouncing the Celtics in Boston in a Game 7. Boston blows a 3-1 series lead. As you take a step back, what went wrong for the Celtics in this series?
Well, clearly their 3-point shooting let them down, but that's something that we know can be very susceptible with this team. If you live by it, you die by it. We talk about it all the time. You look at the 3-point shooting in the games that they lost, you just can't win when that is your style of play, and that is what your identity is going to be. If you have nights like that repeatedly, this is what can happen. But on the other end of the floor, really, to me, was what turned it around. Just a complete lack of answers for how you guard Joel Embiid. They don't really have the personnel to do it, and I don't think they necessarily came up with the best scheme. The best scheme they had defensively is when they went to that zone. It did allow them to get back in the game. But when it came down to the individual matchups with Joel Embiid, they just didn't have the size. I didn't think their double teaming was very effective on him. And I thought they were playing him too many times with smaller guys that made it very easy for Joel Embiid to dominate. So for me, that was the pivot in the series when he returned to it. How were the Celtics going to adapt defensively to him? I just don't think they ever did a very good job of solving it. And at the same time, their 3-point shooting dried up completely.
And not just the Sixers springing an upset, but they won the last 3 of the games played at the Garden in Boston. Tim, tomorrow the Sixers go to a different Garden, MSG, and face the Knicks. And depending on what happens today, I mean, the winner of this series might become the East favorite. What are your early thoughts on this Philly-New York series?
Yeah, look, I look at the Knicks right now, and I don't think there's any team playing better than them in the Eastern Conference, maybe even in the entire league, the way they closed out the Atlanta series. And I described that closeout game in the first half as perfect basketball, and I really believe that's about as close as you can get to it, the way they played in that game. So they're riding all of the momentum into the next series. They even got Mikal Bridges going in that last game, so he's going to have a different type of confidence heading into the series. So the Knicks are playing absolute peak basketball right now on both ends of the floor. So for me, it's going to come down to, can Joel Embiid continue to be as consistently dominant against this team? Tyrese Maxey has done very well against the Knicks in the past, including in the postseason a couple years ago. I expect him to play very, very well. You have a rookie in VJ Edgecombe who's going to rise to the occasion. He's shown that he's capable. It comes down to Embiid. Do the Knicks have a better solution from a personnel standpoint and a scheme standpoint against Joel Embiid? If they do, the Knicks are in really good shape because of how well they are playing offensively. But this is going to be a war. These teams don't like each other. The fan bases don't like each other. It's going to be electric, man, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Yeah, rich history, bad blood between those teams. We got a hell of a game today, though. Magic Pistons at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Legs and the crew will have the call. Long day for you, Tim. Thanks for making some time.
Randy Scott, Garrett Streisky back with you on SportsCenter. The Magic and Pistons for everything. Game 7 today, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. The 1-8 matchup going the distance for just the 5th time since 2003. History firmly on the Pistons side. 1 seeds 4 for 4 when the matchup has gone 7 games. Detroit, a perfect 4-0 in home game 7s all time. But, the home team has gone just 7-10 in game 7s over the last 6 postseasons. So, Orlando, you're saying there's a chance, a 100% chance that Youngmisuk is on your screen right now. He is covering the game for us. He joins us live this morning from Detroit. Great to see you. What are the Pistons saying about trying to continue the momentum from that 24-point comeback in Game 6?
Gary, after Game 5, I asked JB Bickerstaff, does it feel like the Pistons have a little more life getting back into the series? And he said, until that fat lady starts singing, there's always life. So after Game 6, I said, JB, is this what you mean by until the fat lady sings? You guys waited until you were down 24 points early in the third quarter to have a historic comeback. And he said, that team, other teams are going to have to choke the life out of us until they are done. And obviously, that is what they have proven in this series. He said it's going to be vital to start off Game 7 the way they finished off Game 6. Cade Cunningham said, look, we're starting to feel more like ourselves, a 60-win team, but it doesn't mean anything unless we win on Sunday. And he said it starts with locking on defense. That defense, which held Orlando to at one point 0 for 23 shooting in the second half, which was historic.
We saw a 2 seed go down in the Boston Celtics yesterday. Will we see a 1 seed go down? We're going to get our answer in just a couple of hours. Game 7 from Detroit. Pistons Magic later this afternoon. Youngmisuk will be there reporting it all. Thanks, Om.
All right, back with our NBA analyst Quentin Richardson on SportsCenter AM. Listen, Q Rich, the QR code for the Pistons to win Game 7 is what?
QR code for the Pistons is for them to come in and be dominant defensively, physical and dominant defensively. And Cade Cunningham has to be the man, as he has been every game that they've been successful this series. I mean, if they plan on taking them out, they're going to have to bottle up what they did in that second half, which was they came out with a high level intensity on defense. They were up, they were denying, they made everything difficult. And then Cade took over. Cade scored most of the buckets in the second half, and they were not able to contain him. They need to bottle up that second half and bring that back home to Detroit.
He sure did. He has 77 points across the last 2 games, both of them Pistons wins. In Game 6, he outscored the Magic by himself in the second half. As for the other Game 7 tonight, Cavs hosting the Raptors. What's the QR code for Cleveland to win this thing?
Man, listen, it's kind of along the same similar lines. They got to shoot the ball well, but for me, I want to see their 2 superstars, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, you have to play well defensively and guard that paint against the Raptors. But I want to see Donovan Mitchell, James Harden. These 2 guys are probably have the most accolades of anybody between the 2 teams. This is their time to show up and be closers and silence all the talk around them in big games in the playoffs.
Quentin Richardson with us on SportsCenter. Game 7s, we got 2 of them. We are blessed as basketball fans. Thanks, QR.
Time to line those pockets. We are rolling with Dolan. Sports betting analyst Aaron Dolan joins the program. EKD, great to see you. Let's start with that first Game 7 of the day between the Magic and the Pistons. What's your best bet in that one?
I'm looking at Cade Cunningham to go over 29.5 points. Like Quentin just said, Cade has to be the man in this game. And while this number feels high, sitting at 29.5, I think the shots are going to be there and the opportunity is absolutely going to be there. We've seen for his points prop in this series, it's ranged from 26.5 to 29.5. So again, I understand why this one would feel pretty high, only considering he's averaging 33 points through this series. But with that being said, this is one of those spots. It's a game 7. The opportunity is going to be there. He's going to have a big game, so I like him to go over his points prop of 29.5.
Okay, that's a 3:30 p.m. Eastern time tip on ABC. And if you have a vessel, you can just go from Detroit across Lake Erie to Cleveland for Game 7 between the Cavs and the Raptors. What's a play you like in that game, EKD?
I'm looking at the over here, over 211.5. I think this adjustment has come down just too much in terms of the total throughout the entire series. If you go back to game 1, for example, the total was 222.5, and the over has cashed in 4 of the 6 games in this series. And again, this is just one of those spots where, yes, I understand it's a game 7. You're thinking defense is going to come up big, but these offenses haven't been slow by any means. Outside of game 4, they've been pretty hot. So I do think that ultimately this total has come down too low at 211.5, and I take the over there.
The home team has won every single game thus far in this particular series, of course, Game 7 in Cleveland. EKD, last one. Where else can we find some value in this matchup?
How about Evan Mobley to have a double-double? So basically all that has to happen here is his points and his rebounds or his assists all go over 10. And again, just 2 of those 3 that I just mentioned have to go over that. But this is one of those props where, yes, he's not cashing this after each and every game, but considering this is at plus money and where it's at in terms of plus money, I do think there's some value here. We saw this last game when he finished with 26 points and 14 rebounds. He's more than likely for a double-double going to get it against the glass as well as in terms of points. But just like Cade Cunningham, I mean, the opportunity is going to be there and the, just shots in general will be. So sometimes I like to look at some of these stars, especially in a game 7 situation.
7:30 p.m. Eastern time tip. It is a game 7 do or die. Aaron Dolan joining us this morning on SportsCenter with some best bets. Thanks, EKD.